Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. I welcome you here in this session after the lunch. This session is about the status of V2X and CITS, continuous development. As we say, this is a almost continuous session. I think it's the sixth one, Anna Council? 43. This is session 28, and we try to give a world view with focus at the moment on US and Europe and Japan, where we are with the deployment of ITs. The stage where we are is that the objective is, of course, and already for some time, it's Vision Zero, and the subjects which will be addressed, among others, is direct V2X for all road users, increasing road safety in the last mile, expanding direct V2X use cases towards others. We have been developing more warnings kind of use cases, but it moves to more automated use cases. What is the status of CITS specifically in Europe? The term CITS is regulated in Europe in the ITS directive. For that reason, there is really specific word we use in Europe, but it's basically Wi-Fi based in the 5.9 gigahertz. Direct V2X for urban rail and rural motorways. We see some points there, and those will be addressed by the participants here. And the influence of recent development in the UNC Workgroup 29. We have 6 speakers, 2 from the authorities, 2 from organizations, and 2 from the car industry. We have Justin Anderson, Communication Program Manager at DOT, Next Generation Wireless. And we have Christian Hedberg from the Minister Councillor, Transportation and Mobility from EURDAL, European Commission. We have from the organizations Martin Leun from Zeroed and Niels Andersen from the Car-to-Car Consortium. And we have Rustam Rakub from Volkswagen and John Kenny from Toyota. This session is organized by Kevin Anagaba, and I'm the moderator for this session. The first speaker for today is Justin. Justin, please come forward. I'm sorry for this.
All right, so thank you all. Again, my name is Justin Anderson. I work at the Intelligent Transportation Systems Joint Program Office. I lead their V2X and Next Generation Wireless Communications activities. And so you want to know the status of V2X in the United States. This is it. This is as best as we understand, sort of nationwide deployment. I think we were probably missing a few, but this is the current V2X deployments. And we're working currently with all of the folks that are deploying this technology to sort of make sure that, one, we have this captured, but more importantly, to make sure we're catching any stragglers. So what was the US DOT doing for V2X? I'm going to talk about 3 things. If you were at my briefing, the panel I was on this morning, it's going to be probably pretty similar. But we're trying to accelerate V2X. We have some V2X accelerator grant projects, Connecting the West, which is a collaboration led by Utah with Colorado and Wyoming. We have one in Maricopa County, which is in Phoenix, Arizona, and then one with Texas A&M Technology Institute, TTI, and takes place in Houston and College Station, Texas. And the real goal of these accelerator V2X deployments is to serve as a reference and implementation for others in the United States to follow, right? So we're really hoping that these folks can go deploy systems that are interoperable, that work well together, and we're going to test that and make sure that it is working together, and if it's not, then we're going to work with the standards groups to fix whatever issues that we might be having. But that's the goal, is to make it easier for folks to replicate, to get V2X out there. We also have a group called the V2X cohort. It's led by my colleague, J.D. Sneeberger. That's over 60 of these deployments join that we talk about. It's really focused on the deployment community. So the state and local transportation departments that are deploying this equipment, it's a place for them to sort of share best practices, the challenges that they're having, and try and help, again, help others that are at the beginning avoid some of the issues that the earlier adopters have had. And then the other big thing that we're doing is we have a number of programs to help new deployers. We have a lot of open source software development efforts, the V2X Hub, the operational data environment. They're tools that infrastructure owner-operators can use. V2X Hub has been very useful in signal controller cabinets, getting SPAT formatted data. Operational data environment is run in a number of state and local agencies like Wyoming, Colorado, New Jersey, North Carolina, Caltrans. So there's a number of groups that use this to control their V2X deployments and collect data from them. So that's another one. And we also have an interoperable connectivity help desk. It's where deployment agencies in the US can reach out for help. Vendors can as well. We'll help you troubleshoot. We can send even people out to help you. But also, more importantly, it has an equipment loan program. It's meant for state and local agencies to be able to get equipment, RSUs, OVUs, play around with them before they make a huge commitment. Helps them get comfortable with the technology, understand what it is they're buying and putting out there, maybe help train some of their folks up on the technology in a little bit of a cheaper way. Another effort that we have is interoperability. I lead an interoperable technical working group. I'm sure I see some folks in here that are very conversant in the standards, the V2X standards community. I'm sure those of you that know that these messages are very big. They can be very complicated. There can be multiple ways that you can fill them out and then still be correct. And those types of optional data elements, when you have multiple ways of doing something, people can take different tacks on that and lead to interoperability issues. So my program is trying to proactively go out and find those issues. I think my opinion is V2X works well, really well, like 90–95% of the time. It's some certain edge cases around travel information messaging, others weird scenarios where you may not see them every day, but you might see them every few days. That's where we see those sort of interoperability issues. And so my program is really trying to identify that, work with the community to figure out how to address it, and then send it back to the standards community to get it, instantiated in the standards, because that's what all the vendors don't see, right? And that's also how it can get back into the Omniarch group certification process, where we can then all be buying devices that we know are going to work with each other. And that's sort of the goal, right? Is we want a system that will work from New York City to Los Angeles, right? You should be able to drive your car from New York to Los Angeles across the whole country, and it should work the same way, right? And that's really the goal here, is to get to that. Same experience regardless of where you are in the country. And then the last thing I will say that we are working on as well as part of my program, it's called Next Generation Wireless Communications for a reason. And that's because we're always looking at, what are other technologies that can meet the ITS needs, wireless technologies, right? So, I think everybody in the US is very familiar that our dedicated spectrum got cut down from 75 megahertz to 30 megahertz. So with that sort of reduction, you can't do everything that you wanted to do initially. And so we have to look outside of just direct V2X. And so we're doing that. We've been playing around with some of the new network V2X systems. We're bringing those types of systems in. We want to look at unlicensed technologies in the unlicensed bands, like Wi-Fi and others. Is that a viable technology for some of these ITS use cases? And then moving forward, looking at 6G V2X, 5G V2X. It's very hard to buy a 5G V2X device in this country, so we haven't done a whole lot with that yet, but we hope to do that at some point in the future. But that's really the other part of my program, is looking towards the future and figuring out how do we keep abreast of these new wireless technologies and really figure out what works well for different ITS use cases and really help the industry move along. And I'm really excited about what I've seen here today. I've seen some really interesting sort of melding of the cellular worlds and the direct V2X worlds, and I think they can be very complementary. I think there's a lot of use areas where you can use both to their strengths and really, you know, have a increased safety and efficiency throughout the roadways. So again, I think really the message I wanted to give is that, you know, from my opinion, V2X is here. It works. People should be deploying it. And as a final plug, if you haven't, please plan on going to the day one deployment district demonstrations. Georgia has a really awesome, mature V2X deployment. You'll see on these devices, there's tons of folks giving rides, and you'll be able to visualize that almost all the intersections around here have SPAT and MAP being broadcast. You'll also see there's a few intersections that have LiDAR sensors that are detecting pedestrians and vehicles and packaging them in a sensor sharing message and a CSM message, so you can see that as well. It's really cool technology, and you'll be able to see both technologies, both direct V2X and network V2X, operating, although everything that you'll see from the Georgia side is all direct V2X. So again, a plug, please head out to the marshalling yard. There's buses that leave, I think, every 15 minutes. So a really great, I think, example of where V2X is today and what you can get out of it. So thank you very much.